Hello and welcome to my mountain. Sorry it has taken so long to get the next video out, as my primary day job has been a bit wacky this weekend. Anywho, I shall spare you the details. Today's topic is by sure one of the best ones yet, and will really knock your socks off or at least, your pants. Penis Inspection Day. I was gonna keep going on and really run this into the ground just for the sake of doing it, and for a cheap laugh, but I think I will just go ahead and move on to my real topic. What topic is that? How to inflate a penis. Nah, I think I will pass. How about high school life? Getting closer. Bullying? Bingo. Sounds like a good topic, and as always,
now this is the story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became a prince with a dick in my butt.
Well then that is not the right audio file. Let's try this one.
Nearly everything you hear in this video should be taken as opinion and conjecture and not have any basis in fact. This is purely speculation.
There we go. Yes, it is going to be one of these videos, and I will eventually get a move on with the next part on freedom of speech, but due to time I opted for this. Originally it was gonna be about flag burning, but again I opted for this, and it will be a shorter video. So on to unpopular opinions. We have bullying. Is it really such a bad thing? For the purposes of this video, I will be sticking to high school bullying and the after effects in real life. So, is it really bad? Well, sure it is, right? We can't have little kids' egos being crushed and driven to suicide, can we? Well, of course not, and I am not saying that. It is a terrible thing when kids are driven to suicide due to bullying, and I can sympathize with them, but there is a better way. I was bullied a lot in my life, be it for being stupid, or being fat, or because I had acne before everyone else. In more recent memory, I had just recently moved in the middle of the year, and on the bus I like to put in my headphones and keep my head down. Apparently that was not enough, and I soon became the subject of torment of many people, from name-calling to threats, to people throwing all kinds of shit at me, and needless to say it was hell. At one point I made a friend and she decided to sit in the seat across from me, and she started poking my leg trying to get my attention. And I ignored it thinking it was some asshole, and finally I had enough of it. In a fit of rage I told her to fuck off and leave me alone, without even realizing who it was I was yelling at. I regret it even to this day. She was a nice lass, very cute, and I enjoyed her company when she was around. Anyway, the point is, it was not a fun time. It was worse when I was younger. As we all know, kids can be cruel, but I don't think it is necessarily a bad thing. So why do I bring up my experience? Well, it's simple, because everyone can face bullying in many and all forms. No one deserves to be bullied for no reason, especially for reasons they cannot control, like how they look or their standing in life, or their family's financial problem. People who bully others for no reason are, well, while I would not use despicable, I guess I would say unrespectable, and bullying should not be tolerated. I am sure most of us, who are in the newer generations just coming out of school trying to find jobs, or those of us enrolled in, or graduating college, might also remember the campaigns to stop bullying in schools. You know, you're supposed to speak up and say something and go tell a teacher, or if you see something, say something. Even on kids' networks there are commercials about stopping bullying, and celebrities who make public service announcements essentially saying we need to stop bullying and it is a threat to our children. Oh heavenly Lord, will someone think of the children? Oh please have mercy of the children, oh Lordy Lou. I don't know if you can tell, but the argument of think of the children really gets on my nerves a lot, because you can fit it into any argument even if it has nothing to do with children. Some people somehow will fit it in there. So clearly there is a problem with bullying and it can be prevented. But does that mean bullying is bad? Well, it's complicated. Yes, bullying is bad, but the way we react to bullying is detrimental to kids' psyche, and they grow up, not culturally or mentally stunted, but socially stunted. And we can see evidence of this everywhere, and while I hate to keep having to mention it, it can best be seen in PC culture. We raise these children, not to bully or fight back against bullies, but let the adults take care of it. We raise these children sheltered from bullying. Why do I think that's bad? Because kids no longer have to deal with personal attacks or unkind criticism. I think something that can generally sum this up is your amateur YouTube videos, where young folk would make a video at the end, and they would declare that haters were not welcome, and they wanted positive feedback only. If we take away bullying, we take away something that should happen in every child's life, the understanding of criticism and what bullying really is, and more importantly, how to handle and how to cope with it. So we go full balls to the wall in trying to stop bullying in schools. Great, that's fine. So once bullying has been agreed on that it must be stopped, what next? Next we punish those who engage in it, so everyone knows what's wrong. Well, the next step is trying to decide what bullying is. Where does the line end from a child making fun of another child, or a child being bossy and wanting their way or whatever else? So we punish anyway because a no-tolerance policy, always totally works. So now what? Now we need to comfort the kid who was bullied and make him feel special. We need to make him feel like he isn't worthless and make sure his feelings are not hurt. This is where the sheltering comes in. What does this lead to? A decent schooling. Sound good, right? It does, until you reach adulthood. Once they reach adults, they never had to deal with bullying, they were always spoon-fed all this propaganda, I would call it. So what happens? They become soft-skinned, and need safe spaces. They become unable to deal with legitimate criticism, and deal with the hard realities of the real world after grade school and college, because when they were younger, everyone was nice, and no one made fun of anyone else. Well, they then start trying to silence those who they don't agree with, because they hurt their feelings, and that's bullying, as they have been taught in schools. And what happens? They soon take the moral high ground and start gaining followers, and start imposing their views on others, doing whatever it takes in some cases and trying to silence the other side. Does this sound familiar? It does to me, when I look at the rise of SJW, PC culture, and this third wave of feminism. Pulling fire alarms, yelling during lectures, attacking people verbally, and sometimes even physically, trying to get someone fired from their job. Just many examples. Now why is it that we must punish bullies before we even decide what bullying is? Because it is an epidemic, because it affects our children, because it is bad and needs to stop, because feelings. As I sit here and think over what I just typed, it is hard for me to understand, if anyone gets what I am trying to say here. Some concepts it's just really hard for me to put into words, due to their complexity, or just the sheer abstractness of the idea. Regardless, I want to say that I don't know how to better the situation. The best I think is to continue these anti-bullying campaigns, but instead of trying to make schools safe spaces, we also need to teach children to deal with criticism better, and how to deal with those they don't like. But continuing the path the US is on, is only raising a generation of self-absorbed socially stunted individuals. I also want to point out that I keep using the word criticism a lot here when I talk about bullying, like I am trying to sugarcoat it. But in full honesty, I use this term for one reason: that's what it is called in the adult world. Even when it is people talking over ideas or viewpoints, or even looks, it is called criticism, or constructive criticism, if it's good. It does not really matter, and I am sorry if it makes it seem like I am downplaying bullying. Back on topic, how do we better the situation? I have given my viewpoint, but I am no child psychology major, or expert in any means, and I don't really think anyone has a definitive answer to the question. Many can speculate, but that's essentially all it is speculation. So in the end, what do we do? If you are a parent, you must learn with your child, and help them to understand and deal with bullies. They are always in the world, and will never go away. So trying to shelter them from it, by becoming an overbearing parent, is not the answer. For those that are not parents, what can you do? I honestly don't know, other than don't accept bullshit when you see it. Speaking out against bullshit is the most important thing. I know this video might not be as clean as most of my other ones, but I hope you enjoyed your time here, on top of my mountain. Please, come back next time, for my next video will be that flag burning that I mentioned. What a fun one.